Hello, and welcome to another edition of our SureSmile series of podcasts. My name is Lara Hillman, and today I'm talking to specialist orthodontist Nina Shaffie. Nina graduated from Barts and London in 2010 and went on to do specialist orthodontic training at King's College London. She currently practices at the Sanford Dental Implant and Cosmetic Centre in Bexleyheath, Kent, working on complex multidisciplinary cases, as well as teaching, presenting her research at national and international conferences, and publishing her work in peer-reviewed journals. Nina, thank you for joining me today. Can I start by asking you when you first started using SureSmile clear aligners by Dentsply Sirona, and what first persuaded you to give them a try?
So I've been using SureSmile for just over a year now, and I guess what initiated me to sort of switch to SureSmile was that I'd used a well-known aligner brand previously, and I wasn't really satisfied with the sort of outcomes I was getting. And I found that I was unable to achieve the same results as for my fixed cases. And of course, this was very frustrating because, I take a lot of pride in what I do, and I love creating, detailed smiles. And unfortunately, with the system that I was using, I was just unable to produce the sort of same standards of work that I would normally achieve for my patients. So this was, worrying for me because I wanted every single one of my cases to have the best possible outcome. And I'd recently, when I first started working at the Sanford, I used to, I started with a list of maybe a couple of patients working once a day. That slowly built up to 2-3 times, and now I'm working there full time. So, it took a while to build up a reputation. So for me, it was important that I didn't lose that, everything that I worked so hard to achieve. And so I got to a point where, during consultations, I was finding myself that I was convincing patients to go ahead with fixed brace options instead of clear aligners. And I didn't realize I was doing that until I sort of looked back at my conversions, and I realized I'm actually doing just mainly fixed braces and hardly any clear aligners. And I just had no confidence in the product that I was offering at the time. So I was inadvertently convincing patients to go ahead with a different option. So I remember very clearly, the advice my dad gave me when I first started as a dentist, and he also is a dentist. And he said to me, look, Nina, if you don't have confidence in a treatment that you're offering the patient, how do you expect them to believe in it and go ahead? And that's really stuck with me because, automatically you're going to find that conversions of patients for that treatment is going to drop if you don't believe in yourself. So, and this is exactly what happened. I got to a point where I preferred treating patients with fixed braces, which of course wasn't ideal, especially with, the ever-growing trend of influencers, celebs, advertising aligner type treatments, and also the advancement of digital dentistry. So I guess I knew if I don't make a change, I will end up falling behind, but also I didn't want the quality of work that I produced to drop at the same time. So naturally, when I came across SureSmile, I was a bit skeptical at first, and I didn't want to rush into using it. So I decided to start slowly, with simple class 1 cases, and then with each case, increasing the complexity just to see how the system would sort of work and the results that I got. And I found one common factor across all of them, and that was predictability. Now, whether it was a simple or a more complex case, the predictability of the system was always there. So finally, I'd found a clear aligner system that actually gave me back full control as an orthodontist. And what was important to me was whether I could achieve the same results as for my fixed cases. And you absolutely can. And I can confidently say that not only can I achieve the same results using SureSmile, but in fact, in certain cases, funny enough, now I actually do prefer it, as tooth movements, you can plan them more accurately, and then this consequently, translates to more efficient treatment and shorter treatment times for the patient, which of course they love. So I guess now when I do consultation, I'm happy and confident to offer the patient clear aligners as an alternative. Of course, for my very complex orthodontic cases, I still prefer to start them off with fixed braces, but having SureSmile there as an alternative option is amazing.
And what's the biggest difference then that SureSmile has made to your practice, would you say?
So I guess the biggest difference is that I can provide patients with a more aesthetic alternative to fixed braces that I actually believe in. And more importantly, I'm confident will be as good or as predictable. It's also reduced the amount of chairside time I'm spending with patients. I'm also able to delegate different stages to clinical team members, which of course frees up more of my time to see more patients. So I'm able to actually increase my patient load as well, which is amazing. And I've not been able to do that in the past 4 years. I find that with fixed braces, it really takes up a significant more amount of chairside time compared to clear aligners to achieve the same result. And with fixed braces, there's also not much that I feel I can delegate, because it is very technique sensitive. And I say that because at the moment, a lot of the fixed brace cases, whether it's fitting the brackets, doing the adjustment, I just tend to do it all myself, just to make sure that nothing's going to potentially affect the results. Whereas with clear aligners, most of it comes down to correct and good treatment planning. For example, the amount of interproximal reduction you're going to do, the quality of attachments that are placed. So then, of course, the rest is mainly down to patient compliance. So as long as you've got those factors under control, then technically the treatment should run smoothly. I'm also finding that with SureSmile, I'm needing fewer refinements, as the translation of the digital to actual tooth movements is very accurate, and partly as a result of, I guess, the intelligence of the AI of the software. But also the design of the trays, aligner trays, you've got so many different options there. And you can also pick and choose the amount of movement you want per aligner. So all in all these factors contribute to making it very clinically efficient.
Which aspects of the SureSmile system do you find most beneficial?
So I guess the my first favorite aspect is the platform itself, and the fact that it's one single platform that provides all the digital orthodontic needs. And what I mean by that is not only is it an aligner platform, but also it's a fixed ortho platform, where you can have advanced diagnostics or indirect bonding. So that means positioning your brackets of choice digitally, then indirectly bonding it yourself, or even delegating it to another orthodontic team member or a therapist. So not only does it increase accuracy and reduces the need for lots of appointments to reposition brackets, or even finishing a case off, but in turn it saves a lot of chairside time. So the platform itself, I think, is extremely unique in that I haven't seen it across anywhere else. And I remember attending a course many years ago about indirect bonding, and at the time I thought, oh no, I don't want to use their chosen system. But the SureSmile platform gives you the freedom to actually choose whichever bracket system you're currently using, and they make the indirect trace for you. So it is literally one platform that does it all. And I guess the second aspect is the ability to really customize the aligner to the patient. So for example, you can choose different trim heights now, whether it's scalloped or straight trimmed. For example, having the straight trimmed aligners can make the movements more effective, and you even need fewer attachments. The material itself also is made from Essex Ace, which is amazing for clarity. And when the patients wear them, you hardly notice it. And you do get a lot of comments from patients saying, oh, this doesn't show, or my friends and family didn't notice this. So the feedback is really, really amazing compared to some of the competitor brands. And I guess the third aspect, and one of the biggest ones for me, is predictability. You're having less refinements than the competitor brands that I've used. And I suppose the last and final aspect for me really is the you can offer the patient affordable options. You have the option of doing paper aligner, or you can do a full case for complex ones. And you even have a facility to do DIY aligners. And the great thing is you don't actually get billed as a clinician until you've started the treatment, which is very rare. And the power of the software itself, the quality control tools in the AI, and it knowing where the attachments are needed, not to do too many movements at once. And the software itself recognizes things like synergistic and antagonistic movements. So in a way, there's less pressure on the clinician. You still have to obviously plan your case, but the software itself takes away some of that pressure off of the person planning it.
So you mentioned software there. An important element of SureSmile is that it is a digital-only system, which uses 3D intraoral scans and also optional CBCT scans. What difference do you think this makes to your treatment planning?
It makes the workflow much smoother and a lot more efficient having everything digital. I remember years ago when, especially for lingual ortho, when I was using a competing aligner brand, you take, traditional impressions, then you have the faff about posting it, checking whether it's arrived, then it arrives and they're not happy with let's say the quality, then it goes back and forth. So it really just having everything digital streamlined the process. And what's amazing about the SureSmile platform itself is that you don't necessarily have to use Dentsply Sirona scanners. You can use any digital scanner that you have in the practice. And you then simply export your STL files onto the SureSmile platform, and then you can start planning your case. So that's something that a lot of aligner brands out there I know don't have, and they want you to purchase their system. And if you wanted to, you can also take CBCT scans and incorporate that into your planning. And it allows you to sort of have a 3D visualization of the bone and to check whether your planned tooth movements respect the biology and health of the bone, I guess. And I know they do that very routinely in America and a lot of countries abroad. Over in this country, we tend to sort of use CBCT more for obviously very select cases due to the regulations we're under. But it is an option there, which is really, really amazing. So it really streamlines the process, and that's something that I can say confidently is quite unique to SureSmile.
And what was your experience getting started with SureSmile? What support did you get, and what support do you now receive from Dentsply Sirona?
The experience was actually surprisingly amazing. And the reason I say surprising is when I've previously gone on board with an aligner brand, it has been very, very basic training and very much about how to use the software as opposed to clinical teaching. Whereas with SureSmile, it's catered to every level. So whether you're a new user or an experienced clear aligner user, your training is catered towards you. Now, when I started, and with everyone that starts, they put you in touch with a local rep, and mine is Adrian, who is fantastic. And any problems you have, whether it's related to actual software or you needing to order things, if it's regarding educational needs, training, he is there to help, and he's very, very quick at answering questions. I mean, the other day I had a little small query about something to do with the software, and he found out straight away, got back to me. So, you have a direct point of contact. You also receive training in SureSmile, which is linked to the IAS course with Tiff Qureshi, which is brilliant. He's an amazing speaker. But what I loved about it, unlike, as I said, my previous experience, was that it actually covers clinical cases. It's not just catered to, how to use the software. It is actually about clinical scenarios, what types of cases to start with. They also offer a mentoring scheme. So, where an experienced clinician will actually help you through your first few cases, which is, amazing. Now, and that's there if you need help. Now, if you don't, then it's fine. There's also the SureSmile online learning platform, which has live or even on-demand lectures from around the world. And they have some absolutely amazing speakers on there. It's really the training itself is fully comprehensive, and it kind of covers any level of training. So I think as a new SureSmile user, you're not thrown into the deep end. You are, your hand is held from the beginning until you are confident to then go into into the world and actually start doing those cases on your own.
And did you have any experience of the treatment coordinator course?
Ah, yes. Now that was an amazing course. I can't actually, talk enough about it. So I actually attended the Adam Morgan treatment coordinator course last year. And when we first got the email, it said your coordinators and staff members or clinical members need to attend, but also a clinician. And when I read that, I thought, why on earth do I need to go on a TCO course? But you know what, when I went on there, the things that he teaches you, the way he makes you see things, honestly, it's amazing. And until you actually go on the course, you will not appreciate what I'm talking about. But no, that is one course that I would say to every clinician, if you are, and it's anything specifically to do with SureSmile, it is how to improve your own practice, how to change your workflow, how to improve your staff productivity, how to sort of almost envision your practice in order for more patients to come in, for patients to talk about your practice. So it is a course that helps anyone wanting to improve their practice.
Can you tell us about your treatment outcomes with SureSmile?
What I found with SureSmile, which was very different to the previous aligner brand that I was using, is that the patient loves it. The actual efficiency and the effectiveness of it is amazing. You're planning the movements on the computer, and that actually in real life translates into those movements, where I found with previous aligner brands, you plan something and then what you get is actually completely different. But it's all the factors that I mentioned previously that is unique to SureSmile that makes the treatment very efficient, very effective. And not only is the clinician happy, but the patient is happy. And then naturally, you're going to get those patients, going to others, family members, friends, word of mouth spreads, and then your conversions are going to go high. So, since using SureSmile specifically, I can confidently say that I'm not only increased my patient workload, but I've now, when I do consultations, I can confidently offer them this aesthetic alternative to fixed braces, and something that I actually believe in. And with me, I'm the kind of person that unless I actually know a product works and I believe in it, I will not offer it to my patients, because I want the best for them, but also it's at the end of the day, it's my reputation on the line. So it is really important to go for a product that you believe in, really.
What advice would you give to a young dentist who's interested in offering ortho and clear aligner treatment?
First thing I would say is choose wisely and do your research. It's very easy, just as I did initially, to just get sucked in by large corporations into using their system. And, there's so many out there right now. And a lot of these corporations, once they suck you in, they then put pressure on you to hit quotas, buy their products, and, you become tied in. So I would say make sure you invest time into learning a system that you believe in, and that will give you the best possible outcome. And in turn, not only will you, but your patients will be happy, and you're going to see your conversions also go up. So, do your research, choose carefully, and invest in a system you actually believe in.
And what are your plans for the future, and how do you see SureSmile fitting into that?
So this next year or so for me is actually very exciting career-wise, because we're planning, as a practice, they're planning on expanding the orthodontic side, and we're going to have a whole dedicated floor to orthodontics. And my plan is actually to hire really good team members, but also to incorporate digital orthodontics into the majority of my daily practice. Now, whether it's clear aligners or indirect bonding, I want to turn everything digital using the SureSmile platform, because at the moment I spend a lot of time bonding brackets directly on teeth, and it can be very time consuming, but also you got so many factors like moisture control and patient compliance that get in the way of you being able to accurately position brackets. And by going with indirect bonding and being able to digitally plan the same bracket system that I normally use, but be able to digitally plan it, it's going to increase accuracy and efficiency. And then I can get a therapist to actually fit it, but it's still my own work, my own quality, and that the result's going to be the same. So for me, the biggest thing this year is to actually go fully digital, and in turn improve patient experience. So, and I have to say, when patients come in, that they see the scanners and everything, all of them, they're like, wow, things have moved a long way. So it is quite exciting for the patient as well to see that aspect. So an exciting year ahead.
Thank you to Nina for her time and valuable insights into how she's integrated SureSmile into her orthodontic practice so successfully. If you'd like to know more about getting started with SureSmile, including information on courses and mentoring, please visit dentsplyserona.com/SureSmile.